Hi everyone, my name is Susmitha and I'm here to talk to you about dairy alternatives today. Now, to begin with, I don't like to call it just alternatives, I like to call them better-natives because dairy is something that first of all we don't need, and secondly it's not healthy for us at all. And of course there are many more reasons to not consume dairy and to switch to a completely plant-based diet, and I'm sure all of you on the group are aware of it. Anyway, so if you want to lead a purely plant-based life, to begin with, we don't need alternatives to dairy. It's not a requirement at all. But for our taste buds, so in terms of nutrition, we get everything we need from plants, but for the benefit of our own taste buds, we do feel like having some kind of a milk or curd or cheese, things which are replacements to the dairy products that we're used to. Now you can make milk from any nut, any grain, any seed, and some beans like soybean for example. So that's a very convenient thing, because instead of, when you look at animal milks, you have maybe 2 or 3 kinds of milks, but when you look at alternatives, when you look at plant-based milks, there are so many varieties of milks that you can make. So I mean, just imagine the I think there are 100 or more if you actually look at all the grains and seeds and nuts and the innumerable options. So trying out alternatives, making them at your own home, that's a very easy process. You can actually do that quite well. And all you have to do is take a nut or a seed, grind it with water, and you have milk. That's it. So I'm going to show you how to make cashew milk soon, so you'll know how to do it. So then how do you make milk out of beans and grains and stuff? So some of those, so with nuts and seeds it's easy, except for peanuts of course, which is a legume actually. So it's pretty easy. You just grind them with water. Some of them you need to soak, some of them you don't even need to soak, and you have milk. For milks made out of grains and beans, you need to soak and sometimes even cook. Many times you need to even cook either the grain itself or the milk. So for cashew milk, that's the reason I choose to show that recipe is because cashew milk can be made really easily. The moment you think of it, you can make it. And also it's the one that tastes closest to dairy products. So when it comes to chai, coffee and things like that, you can use cashew milk and it tastes very nice. And cashew in India is very easily accessible to all of us, and we don't have to spend a lot of money and buy the highest quality whole cashews. You get so many good quality broken cashews, and you can the 1x2, 1x4, 1x8, which are priced lower. So you can just use those cashews to make your cashew milk, and the costing also goes down quite considerably. Now let me show you how to make cashew milk masala chai. Cashew milk is great for chai, and coconut milk is great for coffee. Cashew works for coffee too, but coconut milk does not work so great for chai, just for your information. And in case so our restaurant is a completely vegan restaurant. It's India's first vegan restaurant, and we not only make vegan food and cakes and cookies and all those, we also insist on teaching others how to make vegan food and vegan dairy products, dairy alternatives, vegan baked goodies, cookies, everything. The reason we like to do this is because we feel that if you know how to make your own alternatives at home, your own vegan options at home, then it becomes very easy for you, not only you to be vegan, but also to make this and feed it to your friends and family and people people around you and show them what an incredibly wonderful world of variety is there in plant-based products. So apart, we teach cooking classes, baking classes, and for me what is important is that the recipes have to be easy, so that no matter who, whatever level of your cooking capacity is, you should be able to make it. So that's the idea behind the recipes when I teach them. So that being said, now let's do the cashew milk masala chai. So as you can see, small quantity of cashews is all you require to begin with. What I'm going to do is grind them into a fine powder at first and then take it from there. So you can see it's a fine powder. Okay, it needs to be sticking to the sides and everything. See, yeah, this is better. So once this happens, I'll be grinding it once more so that it starts releasing the oil. So it should be, see, right now it's all powdery, so we want it to become very sticky. Now the reason we are grinding this first in a dry grinder jar is because that's what will help to make it buttery, release the oils without adding any water in it. And when it becomes buttery, what happens is that it becomes more creamy and you get a beautiful milk out of it. Meanwhile, I've also kept some spices in water. I'll show you that also. So I've added some spices to water, cinnamon, cloves, some cardamom and pepper and everything. I don't have ginger today, I'm out of it, otherwise I like to put ginger also. So I'm going to let this start boiling so that the nice masala chai can be made. So here we go. As you can see. So can you see how it's lumping together and becoming sticky? So that means the oils have started to release, So make sure that all the stuff which is sticking to the sides, make sure to remove all of it completely. Okay, just enough water, like just a little bit, about a quarter cup or so. Okay, now blend it. So initially if we add too much water, what will happen is it's going to get too watery and the grains won't blend very well. Here we go. Nice creamy milk. Okay. And this, at this particular, I'll show you the thickness. At this particular thickness, it can be used as cream instead of milk. So if you're making any sweets or even for curds and stuff, payasam and all that, you can just use it as milk. You can see it. Okay, and now I'm just gonna add some more water. And the beauty again is there are no hard and fast rules, but yes, you can do about 1 cup is to 6 cups. That's a good measurement to have. Yeah, roughly just keep adding a little more water till you're happy with the consistency. So, ta-da! See how deliciously creamy it is. Now we can make the chai. So I'll show you how to do the chai. The spices are still boiling, so let them boil for a little bit and we'll make them. Meanwhile, I'll explain to you the almond milk also. So the way you make almond milk, see, with cashew it's the easiest, like I said, quickly you just think and you make it. But with almond milk, what you need to do is you need to soak the almonds overnight. So that's the only way to get the maximum nutrition out of them, and also you get good milk out of it. So you soak the almonds overnight, and then you wash them, rinse and wash them completely. So the soaking water should not be used, because the skin of the almond has something called enzyme inhibitors, and because of the enzyme inhibitors, the nutrient isn't as bioavailable. You're not able to absorb it so well. So that's the reason you soak it and wash it, and when you do that, all the enzyme inhibitors are gone. You do not need to remove the skin of the almonds because you are going to be straining it. But if you prefer not to strain the almond milk, then remove the skin and then make the almond milk. So now what you do is you put the almonds, the soaked, rinsed almonds, in a blender jar. Add a little bit of water and then grind it kind of like a chutney consistency, as smooth as possible after that. Like first, like a chutney consistency, only that much water. Mix it and grind it as smooth as possible. And then what you do is you take that, and once it's ground, you add lots more water, blend it really well. So it's better to take a big jar and then keep on blending it with water for a few minutes. Then strain it through a cloth. So just a normal mesh strainer. The texture is going to be a little rough because all the pulp is going to, partially the finer pulp will get through. So strain it through a cloth and then squeeze it nicely so that you get maximum milk out of it. You can put the pulp back in with a little more water, grind again and get a second milk also, second press milk also if you have time. Otherwise, the pulp doesn't have to be wasted. So you can just take the pulp, store it in the fridge. It's only going to be a small quantity anyway. Put it into any chapati dough, that you make, or into any gravies, curries, sambar, anything at all. Just put the pulp into that. That's it. You can just utilize it. That goes very well. So yeah, okay. So let me show you the chai now. So to this, what you do is you add your tea powder, of course. After this, you add the tea powder. So after this, what you need to do is reduce the heat to the lowest setting, and then just stir it and add the milk like this. So this is important that you stir and add the milk, okay? And then just leave it. You need to steadily pour the milk, and then this, so the chai, you can see it. So this one, when you do not increase the heat, and you just let it go, let it boil, not boil, let it warm up for a few seconds, maybe 10-20 seconds or so. And then before it starts boiling, you turn it off. And that's it. So you have your tea. It's ready. So you just strain it and you serve it. That's it. So it's very easy to make it. Now normally what happens is homemade milks are, they don't have stabilizers, right? Because they're very clean. The ingredients that we use are very clean. So you don't have any stabilizers. Because of that, what happens is if you just add it in boiling tea or coffee, it tends to split. This is the reason you're going to make it, reduce the heat, then add it, and then don't bring it to a boil. Just warm it up and then be done with it. That's it. So there we have the cashew milk masala chai. Yummy masala chai. I don't like to take sweetener in my tea. I like it plain without any sweetener added to it. But if you do like sweetener, then what you can do is once the tea is ready, then you can mix in. If it's a healthy sweetener like jaggery or date syrup, then once the tea is ready, then mix it in. By chance you're making it with sugar, for others who may not be into clean eating so much, then you can add the sugar while boiling itself. While the spices are boiling, that time add sugar. But jaggery or date syrup will not work at that point of time, because what happens is that the milk will split. It doesn't work at all if you boil the milk in it. So that's the reason you just, at this point, when the tea is ready, at this point you just stir in the sugar, the date syrup or jaggery, and you're done. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and yeah, we'll see you and catch you. Come connect with me on Instagram at Veganosaurus, and we'll take it from there. Bye.